Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Canadian Edition here. Today we're doing the review of the Comet tank. The A34 Comet 1 is a rank 3 British medium tank with a battle rating of 5.0 for realistic battles. It was released along with the initial British tree line in update 1.55 Royal Armor, armed with a 77mm high velocity gun, essentially a 17-pounder with a lower muzzle velocity. It has one of the more powerful guns available for a medium tank at that battle rating. So the general playstyle of a Comet, it has great mobility and acceleration, able to reach 38 kilometers an hour very quickly and keep there at full throttle. But in reverse, it's got a horrible reverse speed, just like the Cromwell of 3 kilometers an hour. So here we are on the Sands of Sinai map, and I felt like this was a great game to show off the Comet because it involves long distance engagements that use gun depression and sniping, which is two of the Comet's strengths. Firepower is also a benefit of this vehicle after unlocking the APDS, armor piercing discarding sabot shot. You can see that down at the bottom of the screen there. This is honestly one of my favorite tanks in the game. I just think it's a really good looking tank. These tanks served in World War II, although they came pretty late in the war, too late to really make a difference. So in this map right here, we'll be fighting against Tigers in this particular game, so it's kind of cool. And on this map too. The drawback of this tank is it's got pretty bad armor. It can be penetrated, especially with the side of the hull being less than 30 millimeters. It can be like ripped apart by some planes and jets. You can see we're trying to get an early shot off on a T-34 there. Looked like no success. Unfortunately, that probably gave away our position. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But yeah, in War Thunder at 5.0, I think this is a sweetheart of a tank. I think it's definitely worth it. And as far as the review is concerned, I would give this tank a solid 9 out of 10. The reason why it's a 9 for me is because it's one of my favorite tanks. It's, in my opinion, a superb looking tank. It's got 12 degrees of gun depression, decent turret armor, decent front armor, but not anything to scream about. Great mobility and a wicked gun, and it's British. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite World War II era tanks, even though it's late World War II era for the Allies for sure. You can see the different velocities on the rounds. The armor-piercing capped ballistic capped shell that we just fired off there has a slower velocity than the armor-piercing discarding sabot, as you can see by the spacing on the lines in our crosshair. So that's just something to note with the Comet. When you're sniping like this, it's definitely easier to use the armor-piercing discarding sabot shells because you don't have to compensate as much for shell drop. So I'm just going to list off some pros of the Comet here. It's got excellent maneuverability and speed, second only by a little to the T-34 85DT and the Panther D. It's got a good gun, precise, with good penetration values. It's got great turret armor. It's got access to armor-piercing discarding sabot. It's the lowest ranked tank at 5.0 to get this ammo type. It's got a low profile, it's very sleek. Great gun depression of negative 12 degrees compared to the Sherman Firefly, which is another one of my favorite tanks, which only has 5 degrees, negative 5 degrees. So this one's got more than double the gun depression of that. It's got 5 crew members, so it's not too hard to survive. You can see we get our first hit here into someone's track. Yeah, this thing has 5 crew members, so it's got balanced crew survival. Oh, they are all pretty close together. You can see we get a gunner, a loader, and an engine there. We strike a fire on that enemy tank. We are taking return fire. You can see shells going over our head here. Boom, target destroyed. It looks like an Su-85. That was at range too. We're just trying to engage the other enemy tank now. We got a hit on him. Just went into his tracks and did nothing really. Boom, target destroyed. And that was a Waffenträger we destroyed there. At excess range. Yeah, so it's got the 5 crew members, balanced crew survival. It's got a good climbing ability. This tank can really climb. It can get to sniping positions that other tanks can't even get to. You can see we're engaging a Tiger now. We just took out his commander. Second shot missed. And he's popping smoke. And third shot missed as well. So when fully upgraded, this Comet is fast and maneuverable. The armor-piercing discarding Sabo is great at taking out Panthers and Tigers at long range, as you can see here. One-shot knockouts are common if you know where the ammo racks are. Oh, we just disabled that Tiger's transmission there. He's not going anywhere fast. The armor-piercing discarding Sabo makes the tank very easy to use in realistic battles and simulator battles. The round drops very little over distances and retains a lot of penetration. So yeah, we're getting shot up by an enemy Yak 9T right now, and he just knocked out my driver, my commander's injured, and my machine gunner. We just got smacked by an enemy tank. There goes the driver. We're gonna pop some smoke and hope we can survive. We just took another hit. We've only got 2 crew members left now. Driver's back in position. You can see the awful reverse speed of 3 kilometers an hour is really doing us in here. We're trying to throw up some smoke and get back and repair this baby. So some cons of the Comet: bad penetration values against sloped armor if you're not using the armor-piercing discarding Sabo shells. Bad gun damage due to lack of explosive fillers, so you have to aim for the enemy gunner or weak spots with this tank. It doesn't have the high explosive capabilities of the Tiger. The 77mm high velocity does not have as much penetration as the true 17-pounder. So you do lose a little bit of penetration on that 17-pounder because they had to compensate to fit it in the Comet turret. It's got an awful reverse speed of only 3 kilometers an hour. It's got overall bad armor for its rank. Only the turret front has some good chance to bounce solid hits. And armor-piercing discarding Sabo causes less post-penetration damage than other AP rounds. So if you are using those really good, you see we're taken out by a Yak 9T who just shot us through the side of the hull there. If you are using those rounds, they do not. You saw when we shot the Tiger, it only took out his commander, right? It's painful to use when stock, so this is a horrible stock grind when you get the Comet, so just bear with it until you get it fully upgraded. But overall, because this is one of my favorite tanks, I said I would give it a 9 out of 10, and I still stand by that rating. But you can see we've been knocked out now, so we're going to show you some footage of why War Thunder is so great, because when you've been knocked out, you can hop back into a plane and get revenge. So here we are in our Typhoon with 2,000-pound bombs, and we're looking to get some revenge. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the person who knocked us out, it just has to be someone. Someone has to die. And this is the beauty of War Thunder: when you do get knocked out in your tank, you have the ability to either spawn in another tank, especially with the new update 1.81, or you can spawn in a plane. So here we are trying to get some shots on the Yak. You see we miss. So we're just going to pull up and disengage. That was the bastard that killed us. Somebody seems to have shot him down, so we're not too concerned about him anymore. So we're going to do a slow turn over here, and we're going to try to look for a tank to drop these bombs on. And I just wanted to show you this last bit of footage because I think it's kind of fun. And it's one of the unique aspects of realistic battles in War Thunder. If you get a couple kills in your tank, you get the ability to do this. So here we see an enemy Tiger, it looks like. And bombs away. Pull up. And look at that. There goes an enemy Tiger tank. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Once again, the Comet gets a 9 out of 10 from me because it's a little bit special place in my heart. One of my favorite tanks of World War II for the Brits. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And stay tuned for the next one.